Eto na mga boss, kakapasok lang na balita. Grabe si VP Sara Duterte. Nahuli na, tumestigo na ang NBI. Aarestuhin na si Baste, kulong na sabay-sabay. Base sa impormasyong kumakalat ngayon sa social media, mismong si NBI Director Melvin Matibag nang nagpakita na planado ang kill plot sa presidente ni Vice President, kumpirmadong makukulong na talaga. Ipapatawag din daw ng NBI Director si Mayor Baste Duterte dahil sa pagbabanta din umano sa buhay ng Pangulo. Madadawit na rin siya kay VP Sara sa pagkakakulong, dediretso na sa kulungan ng dalawang Duterte. Kaya ito, sabay-sabay nating panoorin kung paano si Vice President Sara Duterte, grabe, nahuli na, tumestigo na si NBI Director Melvin Matibag. Aarestuhin na si Mayor Baste Duterte, kulong na sabay-sabay. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy, baka pwedeng i-click nyo muna ang like, share, comment, subscribe at i-hit nyo na rin ang notification bell kung gusto nyo ng mga ganitong klase ng video para laging updated kayo sa mga susunod pa nating ibabalita. Kaya tara, panoorin na natin to.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have one question for Director Matibag. Director Matibag, para malinawan ang mga sumusunod sa atin ngayon, ano ang res ipsa loquitur and does it apply to the video when it comes to grave threats?
From my legal background, when you say reps ipsa loquitur, is the thing speaks for itself. Ibig sabihin, there's no room for interpretation, hindi mo na kailangang ipaliwanag, kundi lumalabas dito ay, yan ay, dyan na mismo, ipipick up mo na ron. And ang application nga namin, that is a threat. That is an actual threat to the President and to the wife and the former Speaker.
No further questions, Madam Chair.
Para sa akin po, itong ground na ito, threats, inciting to sedition, ito po ay isa sa pinakamalakas, kung hindi pinakamalakas na ground. Para sa akin po, as the endorser of the Sabali et al. Complaint sa kapagbabasa ko ng records. Yes, lahat po ng grounds for impeachment raised against the VP are serious. But more than the other grounds, ito pong ground na ito, the threats, is one of the most important in the sense that it gives us an insight into the true character and moral fiber of the VP. Sa pagkakataong yun, maaga pa lang ay nakita na ng buong sambayan ng Pilipino ang tunay na karakter at pagkatao ni VP Sara. Never before, in the entire history of the world, has a sitting vice president threatened to kill the president and his wife on live streaming video for the whole Filipino nation and even the world to watch. It finally revealed Sara Duterte at her most transparent and unfiltered moment. And para sa akin po, this is not an aberrant attitude of a Duterte. In fact, it is their trademark character. Just recently, yung kapatid nga niya po, si Mayor Baste, said that all he wants is the head of the president, nothing more, and then the Duterte family will be satisfied. This to me, ang pagbasa ko po dito, hindi naman po ako psychologist o psychiatrist, pero sa aking obserbasyon, this is a clear pattern running along all of the Duterte children. They're all cut from the same cloth and woven from the same fabric as their father, who is now facing 3 charges of crimes against humanity before the ICC for the murder of thousands of Filipino civilians, all citizens he was sworn to protect. So may history of violence, may proclivity, may tendency to violence ang pamilya pong yan. Mayor Baste also showed us that the Duterte family is capable of bringing back the bloodshed instigated by their father, as he attempted to do so immediately at the start of his first term as Davao City Mayor in 2022, with the killing of 7 alleged criminals in Davao City. Fortunately, his attempt to bring back the Davao Death Squad was immediately put to a stop by the PNP when the leadership of the whole Davao Police Force was revealed. The Davao City Police was no longer the Davao Death Squad that the children grew up with and got used to running their errands, including the occasional execution of enemies, as attested to by DDS leader Arturo Las Cañas. Mayor Baste's failed revival of the DDS is also just a poor copy of his sister's record in the EJK business. According to Las Cañas, then Mayor Sara together with the then City Police Chief and now Senator at Large Bato de la Rosa were the ones to come up with Oplan Tokhang as an operation modus of the DDS. Marami pong sinabi si Las Cañas sa kakayahan ni VP Sara na maging katulad ng kanyang tatay. Kaya nung sinabi ni VP Sara na kumuha na siya ng hitman para patayin ang first couple, hindi po yun biro. Siya po mismo ang nagsabi, no joke, no joke. Hindi biro ang pagbabanta ni VP Sara sa buhay ng Pangulo at unang ginang. Na ginawa niyang bantang ito ay hindi na alegasyon. Napanood po natin ito sa live streaming video. Nung gabing yon, nakita natin ang totoong Sara Duterte. Nanlilisik ang mata, halos bumula ang bibig, at lumabas ang dugo sa tenga dahil tila ba sasabog na ang kanyang ulo sa galit dahil sa pagdetain sa kanyang chief of staff dito mismo sa loob ng batasan. The irony of this is that it all happened here, within the premises of the House of Representatives, in the same government compound where we are sitting now in judgment whether or not to recommend to the House plenary the filing of the articles of impeachment against VP Sara for the Senate, to the Senate for an impeachment trial. And so we have gone full circle, Madam Chair. Sa haba-haba ng prosesyon na nag-umpisa sa opisina ni Kong Paulo Duterte nung gabi, noong November 23, 2024, bumalik tayo ngayon para dinggin ang krimen at impeachable offense na naganap malapit lamang sa bulwagan na ito. Ang seryosong pagbabanta sa buhay ng Pangulo, unang ginang, dating speaker ng kanyang pangalawang Pangulo. Hindi bale sana kung walang gulugod sa likod ng banta. Pero katulad po ng aking sinabi, may kakayahan si VP Sara at ang pamilya Duterte na isa katuparan ng kanilang mga bantang pagpatay sa Pangulo. Sa katunayan, ilang beses na nilang hinahilintulad ang Pangulo sa libo-libong drug addict na pinapatay ng kanilang tatay. Sa tingin ko po, sa akin po, ito ang pinakamalalang ground for impeachment. Dahil pinakita nito ang kawalan ng tamang pag-iisip ni VP Sara. Again, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but that's what I can see from the character and personality of VP Sara. Hindi lamang pagbabanta sa buhay ng Pangulo ang ating nasaksihan noong gabing yon mula sa Room 304 ng South Wing Annex, kung hindi ang lagim na kinakaharap ng ating bayan sa ilalim ng isa na namang Duterte. That is my manifestation, Madam Chair, for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable De Lima. Next to raise clarificatory questions is the Honorable Bernadette Barbers.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Clarificatory question lang po para kay Director Matibag. Good afternoon, Director Matibag.
Good afternoon.
Oo. Kasama din po ba sa video yung tungkol sa pagbibitiw sa tungkulin ni VP Duterte bilang miyembro ng kabinete ni Pangulong Marcos at saka bilang Secretary ng Department of Education at bilang Vice Chair ng NTF-ELCAC or the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict?
Yes, good afternoon. That question, I would like to direct to John Mark Calilong. He was the one who authenticated the videos na dinala namin at sinabit dito.
Secretariat, please play the video.
Okay.
Earlier today, June 19, 2024, I sought an audience with the President and tendered my resignation as the Secretary of Education effective July 19, 2024. I have given my 30-day notice to ensure the proper and orderly transition for the benefits of the next Secretary.
Pangalawang tanong po, yun naman pong video pagkatapos niyan na biglang sinabi niyang hindi na raw siya dadalo sa SONA ni PBBM at ina-appoint niya yung sarili niya bilang designated survivor.
It was considered during our investigation, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did you submit that video also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Secretariat, kindly play the video.
No. No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Okay. Yan po yung video. Pinatotohanan niyo ho ba na yan yung inyong inimbestigahan?
Yes, kasama po sa conduct of investigation and an ongoing investigation po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Bel Zamora.
short manifestation. I believe that all of us saw this video also wherein the brother of the Vice President referred to the Romanovs.
If I may interrupt, since we are discussing on the video for the guidance of the members, since it's part of the submission, with the indulgence of the members, may we play that video?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes? So, Secretariat, please be directed to play the video about that Romanov.
Just a simple message sa ato ang Pangulo. From now on, before you go to bed, think of the Romanovs. Think of Benito Mussolini and his wife. And think of what happened to you in 1986. And maybe you'll reconsider the direction that you are taking.
Honorable Zamora.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to make a brief manifestation regarding that video. Maybe I'll give a little crash course on history. The Romanovs were the ruling imperial dynasty in Russia from the 1600s to the early 1900s, Madam Chair. And why? At sila po ang royal family noong 1900s until 1917. Noong 1917, nagkaroon po ng February uprising kung saan napilitan mag-abdicate o i-give up ni Tsar Nicholas II ang kanyang pwesto dahil may communist uprising. Pagkatapos po, October 1917, merong another uprising by the Bolsheviks, which was led by Vladimir Lenin, And ano pong nangyari dito? Kaya mahalaga itong Romanovs na to. Sila po, ang buong pamilya, ang mag-asawa na si Tsar Nicholas II, si Tsarina Alexandra at ang kanilang 5 anak ay kinuha, nilagay sa isang house sa Siberia at isang araw pinagpapapatay po silang lahat. So, yun po ang reference, nakababahala po ang reference nila sa Romanovs. Bakit naman din po nila babanggitin si Benito Mussolini? Sino ba to? Ang fascist dictator from 1922 to 1943 ng Italy. He allied himself with Hitler and the Axis powers until he was removed by King Victor Emmanuel and executed in 1945. The point is, Madam Chair, nakababahala nga ang kanilang reference sa ganitong mga okasyon, sa ganitong mga tao, and their propensity to refer to executions or to idolize dictators is appalling and should not be countenanced. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
That is very enlightening. Can we hear first the appreciation of the NBI? Having heard the history from the Honorable Zamora, how did the NBI appreciate this video of Mayor Baste?
Yeah, well, thank you for the cross-court history. Although we already have traced back why there's a referral on that matter. So, and I tend to agree with the Honorable Zamora that the reason why we're still considering what we're saying that there is an ongoing investigation, because just recently, I think first week of April, there was a rally in Club Filipino when they launched the Rage. Even the name, you'll see it, Rage. So, wherein the Mayor Baste Duterte made reference to kuhain yung ulo ng Pangulong Marcos, ano? And we've noticed a pattern na paulit-ulit, laging sinasabi, kuhain yung ulo. I think there was also a video submitted by NBI, which was also being considered in the ongoing investigation, that Vice President Sara Duterte also preparing to remove the head. Ano? And I'd like to make a reference on the earlier statement of Honorable De Lima on the pattern of behavior of the family. So lahat po yan ay recorded naman and been publicly used. And yun pa po yung isang nagiging challenge sa amin sa NBI because again, just recently when the President Bongbong Marcos was present live in Palayan, Isabela, meron pong isang individual doon sa live na nag-post na barili na yan. So it's very alarming dahil hindi na, parang continuing na po yung threat sa ating Pangulo. And kami naman po sa law enforcement, any threat to the President or high official in government, we consider it as a threat to the national security. So it's good that these things are being raised here. So in addition to that, I issued a memorandum circular, administrative order number 11 po, dahil sunod-sunod na nga yung mga threat po na nakikita namin sa social media, creating a task force to continue to investigate this matter.
That's Administrative Order number 11.
Yes, ma'am. And
What do you
part-
call the task force?
yung wala naman pong official name, but it's a task force to monitor all the threats to the President and to all other officials in government.
Is that part of your submission also?
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
committee?
Although it's not directed particularly to the Dutertes, but it's directed po to, in general, sa lahat po. But this is an offshoot because of the behavior po of the family. Of the
In other words, Director Matibag, the reason why you are considering all these videos, Director Matibag, is for you to be guided on whether or not threat was actually committed?
As to the press conference of Vice President Duterte, it's already been established by the Bureau.
It's
Even
established already.
Long before I came to the Bureau, nandiyan naman po yung records, the record which speaks for itself, na the threat, the grave threat and the inciting to sedition are clear. All the elements were present, and dyan po, we're just waiting for the decision of the prosecution, sir.
May we just know for the record, because you mentioned a while ago that there is a follow-up investigation. May we know the purpose of the follow-up investigation if you have resolved already the offense of threat that was committed against the first couple and the former speaker? How about the follow-up investigation?
It's an ongoing investigation po. If you recall, doon po sa video ni Vice President, sinabi niya na no joke, that hire na siya ng assassin. Ano po. And we're trying to identify and pinpoint the assassin. And just to let you know, we have leads already. We have some personalities that we are also surveillance at sinusundan po namin. But I have to caution you and immediately say that I apologize that we cannot name the names of those individuals naming sinusundan. But we are zeroing on several individuals already na maaaring yun po yung kinausap niya doon sa threat na ginawa po niya.
Wait, let me confirm. You said that you have leads about the assassins hired by the Vice President?
Yes, ma'am. Meron po kaming leads na mukhang talagang, at yun naman po yung findings na talagang may kinausap, kaya nga po nag-file ng kaso ng grave threat at inciting to sedition. Ano po.
And this is the assassin hired to kill the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker, which we saw from her video.
Yan po yung part ng aming ongoing case build-up and to solidify po kung ito yung individual talaga. If you recall, meron pong mention, it's not been denied, na meron pong itinayong Vice President Sara, parang Vice Presidential Security Group, yung sarili niyang group. So, yun na lang, in general, we're looking on those individuals in the close associates of the Vice President.
Can you expound on the Vice President Security Group? What is the significance of this to your ongoing investigation?
Well, meron po kasi mga na-identify dyan na still in the military service and marami rin po dyan yung no longer in the military service. Ano po. So, remember, yung sinusundan po natin is the second highest ranking official of the country. So she has the network. So, at kaya po kailangan nating sundang maigi at i-surveillance po yung mga nakakausap at mga kinausap po.
Is it correct to say that the subject matter of your follow-up investigation is the statement of the Vice President that he has hired an assassin?
Yes po, doon po talaga yun. Dahil we considered it as a serious and actual threat to the life of the President, kaya kailangan po naming bandayan.
And you consider the creation of the Vice President Security Group significant in the investigation of this having hired an assassin?
Para sa amin po, yes, because it is very unusual to a Vice President. If you will look at the history of other Vice Presidents, hindi po ganun karami yung security group na nakabantay po sa kanila.
When you say hindi po ganito karami, can you give us an idea how many security does the Vice President have in comparison with those
Well,
who serve as Vice Presidents?
I'm not sure what is the number, but during the time of Vice President Lenny, I think it's not even more than 30. Pero dito po, hundreds po yung security na tinayo po nila.
You are saying that during the time of Mayor Lenny, Vice President Lenny, around 30.
That
And
is my recollection po.
during the time of VP Sara, how many?
Hundreds po ngayon yan yung na-identify dyan
By hundreds? Is it 100,
More than
200?
More than this, I think it's ranging from 500 po. Nagbawas
500?
Makikita nyo naman po yan, di ba, doon sa paggasta doon sa confidential fund na mention po yan
So this is 30 versus 500? Is that what you're saying, Director Matibag?
So this is unusual po. It's not usual doon sa comparison. And we're looking back also as far as the other Vice President at that time.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Ko?
Ako muna.
But before Honorable Ko,
In reference to the
few
manifestation.
follow-up question lang from the Honorable Chua. Got it, Madam Chair.
Just a brief manifestation, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, alam po ninyo yung designated survivor, no? Gusto ko lang i-emphasize na hindi po natin po pwedeng baliwalain ito. Kasi sa Amerika po o sa ibang bansa, ito pong tinatawag nating designated survivor ay ito po ay protocol sa US government. Ito po ay inakma doon sa isang, makikita po natin yung konsepto nito doon po sa isang TV series sa Amerika, yung designated survivor. So ang ibig sabihin po nito, Madam Chair, doon po sa Amerika, pagka meron pong isang malaking pagtitipon kung saan nandoon lahat ang mga top brass o lahat ng mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno mula presidente, vice-presidente, mga cabinet secretary, senador, mga congressman. Kumbaga, ikukumpara po natin dito sa ating present setup. Ito po yung tinatawag nating SONA. Sa Amerika po, mayroon pong isang opisyal ng gobyerno na sineseparate nila o hindi nila pina-attend doon sa pagtitipon na yon ng kagaya ng SONA. Yun ang tinatawag nilang designated survivor. Ang purpose po nun, in the event na may mangyari, halimbawa po, nagkaroon po ng catastrophic event, nagkaroon ng matinding lindol, nagkaroon ng matinding halimbawa o binomba yung isang lugar kung saan nandoon lahat ang mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno. Meron pong isang matitira, yung designated survivor, siya po ang tatayo o hahaliling presidente ng bansa. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng designated survivor. Ngayon, ang tanong ko po, bakit po ito binabanggit ng ating Vice Presidente? Meron po ba siyang alam na masamang mangyayari nung panahon na yon? O may alam ba ang ating Vice Presidente na mangyayari kaya ayaw po niyang dumalo sa SONA? So ito po yung mga katanungan na hindi po natin dapat binabaliwala. So yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Before we proceed, our parliamentary status, we are conducting the clarificatory hearing for the allegations of threat and destabilization acts. And there are justice members who have raised clarificatory questions already. We are on the video. Honorable Barbers just presented the video of resignation of the Vice President and the designated survivor videos. And for the record, these videos were submitted by the NBI during our clarificatory hearings. Now we recognize the Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. Alam niyo po, maaring fiction po yung series ng Designated Survivor sa US. Kaso lang, hindi po ito biro sa atin. Unang-una, dahil ang nagbigkas po ng mga salitang yan ay yung mismong makikinabang kung merong mangyari sa buhay ng ating presidente. She is the direct beneficiary of anything that will happen to the president. And thereby designating herself as a survivor means that she may be entertaining some thought or there are some, things that may happen to the president. And as we all know, the president, the highest elected official of the land, whose life must remain secure because of the responsibilities and the duties that he holds. So we should not take this lightly, Madam Chair. Yes, it may be a basis of some series, and all the reason why it should be the basis because there is so much significance in that statement that was uttered, Madam Chair. So I would just like to put that on record. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez. Now we proceed with the next to raise clarificatory question. Is this still on the video of resignation and designated survivor? D.S. Konghun? D.S. Konghun is recognized.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. May I ask clarificatory questions lang po para sa NBI? Base po sa Part 4, Paragraph 53 ng Affidavit of Investigation, sinabi dito na the statements made by the Vice President were brought about or motivated by the unpleasant circumstances that happened prior to November 23, 2024 press conference. She imagined the cutting of the president's head. She further claimed that her name was marred by Speaker Martin Romualdez, First Lady Lisa Marcos Araneta, and President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba ito?
Yes, Your Honor. It's on the October 18 video that was also authenticated, Your Honor.
Thank you. Base naman po sa Part 4, Paragraph 54 ng Affidavit of Investigation, sinabi po dito na the convolution of these circumstances will demonstrate that the threat is not a product of temporary fit of anger, but it was deliberately thought out by the Vice President. Kinukumpirmahan niyo po ba ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, may I manifest that what we're seeing now is not a single isolated statement. When you put everything together, the resignation as a Deputy Secretary in June 29, 2024, and the self-declaration as the designated survivor in July 11, 2024, the remarks made in October 18, 2024 press conference, the threat to the life of the President, First Lady, and former Speaker of the House in November 23, 2024, and confirming the same on November 26, 2024, it forms a pattern that cannot simply be dismissed as a casual rhetoric. Ito po ay hindi about sa politics alone. This is about whether these statements cross the threshold of a credible threat that requires a state response. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yun lang po.
Thank you. We will go back to the video of resignation and designated survivor. If there are any other members who wish to manifest or raise questions on this video, if we are done, then we recognize the Honorable Rog Gutierrez
Thank you,
for
Madam
his
Chair.
clarificatory questions.
Madam Chair, just on that point po, no, and I do agree that tama rin naman po yung ginagawa ng NBI that they in relation to the threat video, they're looking at other videos to provide context. And actually, naalala ko lang po, there was another video, I think, that was a pronouncement by a family member of the Vice President in relation to a sort of political destiny of sorts, yung dun tungkol sa mga Romanov at mga Mussolini. I would just like to clarify, Madam Chair, was that also included for context in the investigation of the NBI?
May we hear from the NBI? The Honorable Gutierrez is asking if the video about Romanov is part of your submissions.
Yes, Your Honor, it's part of the submission.
The
but,
same has been authenticated
yes,
as well?
Yes, Your Honor, but it's being considered on an ongoing investigation.
It's part of your ongoing investigation.
Honor.
What's the pleasure of the Honorable Gutierrez?
Madam Chair, that was just a clarification po na ko na-consider. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Now,
Madam Chair.
may we...
Madam Chair.
Yes, I was about to call you. We
Thank you.
recognize the Honorable Tino and then the Honorable Vice Chair Brian Po.
Thank you. Actually, Madam Chair, yung napag-uusapan ngayon ni NBI Director Matibag, actually yan yung precisely yung ating line of questioning. Kung babalikan po natin yung statement, yung threat ni Vice President Sara Duterte na siya mismo ang bumigkas, let me quote, yes, huwag kang mag-alala ma'am, sa security ko kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. So yun po ang sinabi niya rito. Tapos yung kinausap niya na tao, yun yung sinabi niya na pumayag na papatayin niya ang Pangulo, ang First Lady at ang former Speaker kung siya ay mapatay. Tama po ba? Hindi po ba ganun ang eksaktong statement ng Vice President?
Tama po. Kasi kaya nga po, we arrived with that conclusion that the threat will be ongoing. Until such time na makita po natin kung sino yung kinausap, or unless the Vice President will reveal it, which I think it's impossible, hindi po natin pwedeng alisin yung threat po sa ating Pangulo.
Okay. So again, malinaw po, idiin po natin sa mismong statement ng Vice President, yung nakita nating video kanina, sinabi naman niya no, na sa security ko kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Pangalawa, and then he said yes. So dalawa po ang na-reveal dito. Una, na yung kinausap niya ay galing sa kanyang security. Pangalawa, na lalaki ito, di ba? He said yes. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Okay. So medyo nananarrow down po. Pag sinabi pong security ng Vice President, again, ito nga po, katulad ng binanggit nyo, yung Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group. Tama po?
Tama po yan.
At ang pinuno niyan at that time ay itong si Colonel Raymond Dante Lachica. Tama po?
That is correct po.
Okay. So, inimbestigahan nyo na po ba ang VP SPG, including Colonel Lachica, kaugnay dito?
Yun nga po yung aming sinasabi, there is an ongoing investigation and in fact, we are coordinating with other agency so that we can pinpoint who is that individual po.
Okay, so napakahalaga po sa recommendation dito sa affidavit of investigation, ang rekomendasyon na po ng NBI ay sampahan ng kaso ng grave threats, 3 counts of grave threats ang Vice President at saka inciting to sedition. Pero hindi po maaaring matapos doon dahil lumalabas may isa pang party, no? Bukod sa Vice Presidente, meron siyang kinausap at meron siyang napapayag, sumang-ayon na pumatay sa Presidente, sa First Lady at sa dating Speaker, no? So in other words, hindi lang po tama po ba sabihin, hindi lang po simpleng nag-hire ng hitman ang Vice Presidente, kung hindi ang hitman na ito ay posibleng miyembro mismo ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Tama po ba?
It's always it's a possibility because the members po ng Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group, sabi ko nga po, may mga active members po ng military po dyan.
Okay. So, in other words, yung betrayal of public trust po dito ay hindi lamang sa mga krimen na nabanggit, kung hindi, dahil nga pinapayag pa ng Vice Presidente at inamin niyang napapayag niya na ang isang miyembro ng Armed Forces mismo ang pumatay, no? At hindi lang ng ordinaryong mamamayan, kung hindi ng Commander-in-Chief mismo at ng iba pang mga individual at opisyal. So, yun lamang po, Madam Chair. Kailangang madiin po natin na ganong kabigat, no, ang inamin ng Vice Presidente sa sarili niyang mga pananalita na kitang-kita natin sa video. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Tino. Now we recognize the Honorable Vice Chair Brian Po. Is there anyone requesting to be recognized?
Madam Chair.
With that, we recognize the next Justice Member to raise clarificatory questions, the Honorable Percy Sendanya.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. May we request our Secretary to please prepare the clip of the Vice President that was recorded here in the premises of the House that is the subject of this ground of the complaint. Can we play the video, please?
You are requesting for the video of the Vice President taken inside the premises of the House of Representatives. May we know the exact date of this video?
This video was the video during the early morning of 23 November 2024 when she called a press conference with members of the media through a Zoom call.
With that, we direct the, I believe that this was produced by the NBI as well? Honor Director Matibag?
Yes, Madam Chair. We
Is this video being asked by the Honorable Sendanya to be played part of those submitted last April 14?
Yeah, it's part of the submission based on the subpoena issued by this honorable committee, and also we able to authenticate those videos that we submitted to them.
So this video has been authenticated already by the NBI. With that, we direct the COMSEC to the Secretariat to play the video of the Vice President taken inside the premises on November 23, 2024.
Ang ina ninyong lahat. Martin Romualdez, Lisa Marcos, Bongbong Marcos.
Madam Chair, can we begin the video again because the audio was not clear. at
Please
the beginning.
replay and please max the volume.
Ang ina ninyong lahat. Martin Romualdez, Lisa Marcos, Bongbong Marcos. Huwag ka mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil ha. Hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes.
Honorable Sendanya?
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. I'd like now to ask some questions to the NBI. Gusto ko po magtanong sa inyo tungkol po sa inyong affidavit of investigation. Particularly, I'm referring to page 28, ng inyong pong affidavit of investigation. Nabanggit po dyan kasi yung inciting to sedition. Baka pwede pong very quickly lang, in layman's terms, ano po ba ang elements ng crime na inciting to sedition?
NBI, may answer?
Our legal officer during that time is Attorney Intel. She will address the question.
What is the name of the legal officer, Director Matibag?
Attorney Intel Malikad.
Attorney Intel. Attorney Intel, you are
Yentel,
recognized. What is that, Director?
Yentel.
Attorney Yentel is recognized.
Attorney Yentel, Madam Chair, the question for the NBI which will be answered by Attorney Yentel is, mention po dun sa page 28 na ating affidavit, yung inciting to sedition. Para lang po matulungan din yung ating po mga kababayan na nanonood sa atin ngayon, ano po ba ang elements ng inciting to sedition?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, to the members of the committee. As is stated in the affidavit of investigation prepared by the National Bureau of Investigation, the following are the elements of inciting to sedition. The offender does not take direct part in the crime of sedition. The offender uttered seditious words. And number 3, the utterance of seditious words is done by means of speeches which lead or tend to stir up the people against the lawful authorities or to disturb the peace of the community, the safety and order of the government.
So doon po sa napanood nating video,
If I may interrupt, Honorable Sendanya, I observe that Attorney Yentel is reading from a certain document. May we know what document is that?
Yes, it's page 26, number 74 of the affidavit of investigation, Your
Is
Honor.
this part of the documents that were submitted last April 14 to
Yes,
this
Your
committee?
Honor, it was among the documents submitted by the NBI.
For the guidance of the members, Honorable Sendanya, would you like to request Attorney Yentel to flash that portion of the document in the big screen so
Yes,
that
Madam
everybody
Chair.
can see?
Yes, Madam Chair, kindly flash that portion of the document on the big screen. Can we enlarge it a bit? Ito pong number 74 sinasabi na ito daw po yung elements na inciting to sedition. So, batay po dyan sa sinasabi ninyo at sa napanood po nating video earlier, yung po bang ginawa ni VP Sara ay inciting to sedition?
Based on the investigation conducted by the NBI and on the certification issued by the Department of Justice in relation to the Department Circular 20, the NBI submitted or the complaint referred by the NBI, which includes inciting to sedition, contains all the necessary evidence to prove the essential elements of the crime and should be docketed for preliminary investigation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nabanggit din po ninyo sa inyong affidavit yung grave threats. Para po sa ating mga kababayan nakikinig, in layman's terms po, ano po ang ibig sabihin, ano ang mga elemento ng grave threats? Again, if you can cite the page number so that we can flash it on screen, Madam Chair.
Based on Article 282 of the revised
Madam
Bilang-
Chair, what page is this again?
page 15 and 16 of the affidavit of investigation, Your Honor.
Please flash the concerned portion of page 15 and page 16. Secretariat? If I may interrupt, because we are dealing with documents already, and the same has not yet been formally identified by the NBI. Would you like to raise questions first that will lead towards the identification
Yes,
of the document?
Madam Chair, may we request the NBI to please identify the documents that they were referring to so that it could be entered into our records today.
Madam Chair, the identification of the affidavit, may I direct that to Attorney Jeremy Lotok, he's the chief of CCD and the one who executed the affidavit.
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
With the indulgence of the Honorable Sendanya, the questions of Honorable Zamora is with respect likewise to the identification of the document. So is it okay?
Yes, Madam Chair, I will yield the time to Representative
And
Zamora.
then we will be calling you again.
Thank you very much.
The Honorable Bel Zamora is recognized.
May I ask the committee secretary to flash the affidavit signed by the NBI officials? Okay, we have on the screen an affidavit of investigation consisting of, if I'm not mistaken, 29 pages. Agent John Mark Calilong, ito ba po yung affidavit na in-issue po ninyo at ng mga kasama po ninyo para po sa kalinawan ng lahat?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ito po ay isang affidavit of investigation. Comsec, can we go to the last page? Page 28 and 29. I would just like the NBI officials to identify this document. Page 28, Comsec.
Madam Chair, may I request that the video which forms part of the affidavit be included as part of the records of this committee as well?
There is a motion to include the video just presented about the threat to form part of the official records of this proceeding. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted.
Okay. Going forward, sa inyo pong affidavit of investigation, page 28 po nito, meron pong sa bandang taas po, sa bandang gitna, meron pong 4 na signatures. S.A. Jeremy C. Lotok, SRA Ria Vanessa Diaz Asuncion, SRA Van Homer M. Angluben, Agent John Mark Calilong. Kayo ba po ang mga nakapirma dito?
Yes, Your Honor. 4 po kami nakapirma dito.
4 po kayo
May we
nakapirma
request
dyan.
the other those who signed to please answer the question of the Honorable Zamora?
Yes, Your Honor. Nakapirma
State
po
your
ako.
name.
Jeremy C. Lotok, ma'am. Ako po yung nakapirma rito,
Next.
Madam Chair.
Senior Agent Van Homer Angluben, Your Honor. I'm one of the signatories of the
You
complaint.
confirm your signature.
Yes,
Next.
Madam Chair.
Senior Agent Ria Vanessa Asuncion, I confirm my signature, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po. So itong 4 na po na pumirma dito ay kayo. Meron pong isang pirma dito, Glenn A. Ricarte, Assistant Director for Investigation Service, National Bureau of Investigation. Sino po ito at bakit po siya nakapirma sa ilalim?
He was the then Assistant Director for Investigation Service, ma'am, and he was the one who sworn to before sa amin lahat.
He administered the oath po nung kayo ay gumawa ng inyong recommendation dito po sa affidavit of investigation.
Yes, ma'am. Siya po yung nag-administer sa amin.
Okay, maraming salamat po. If I may proceed, Madam Chair, with a few questions.
Honorable Sendanya, this is with regards to the documents that they submitted. So the intention of Kong Bell is to have all the documents identified first before we raise questions on these documents. With your indulgence.
I concur, Madam Chair.
The Honorable Zamora may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Sandanya. Agent Calilong, base po sa inyong Affidavit of Authentication of Digital Evidence na Annex A naman din po nitong Affidavit of Investigation, na-authenticate po ninyo yung video ng press conference ni VP Duterte noong November 23, 2024. Tama ba po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito pong video ng press conference, yung kanina pong pinlay po natin, di ba po yun? Tama ba po yun?
Yes po, part po yun. Meron pong inauthenticate ako na whole video, Your Honor.
Whole video po ang authenticate, ang inyong inauthenticate. Okay po. Ano po ang ibig sabihin ninyo ng pag-authenticate o ang authentication ng video?
Authenticate po is pag-ensure na ang yung video na yon is the same and actual nung nag-transpire. I-ensure po namin na hindi po siya edited or spliced or AI-generated, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Maaari mo bang ipaliwanag sa amin ang proseso ng pag-authenticate in layman's terms kung pwede po, as much as you can?
Yes, Your Honor. Una po, kami, communicate with Facebook Meta para po ma-preserve po yung URL na nagko-contain po nung video nung press conference nung November 23, 2024. Then, nagkaroon po kami ng confirmation email from Meta na ginawa nila yung necessary step para po ma-preserve. Next, we conducted screen recording of the video to ensure that what transpired is also being recorded.
Spin recording po?
Yes po, including the URL po, tsaka kung sino po yung nag-stream ng video.
Okay po.
Then after po makakapag-generate
Sorry
kami...
po, binanggit niyo po kung sino po yung nag-stream ng video. Sino po yung nag-stream ng video na ito?
For the authenticated video, ang nag-stream po is si Harry Roque po, Your Honor.
Okay po.
Na account po.
Go ahead po. Sige po, tuloy po.
Then after pong ma-record, nag-conduct po kami ng hash value calculation. Ang hash value calculation po, yung po yung tinatawag na, in layman's term, pag-fingerprint nung digital data, digital file, para po ma-ensure na yung video na yon, if magkaroon ng editing, magbabago po yung hash value.
So meaning nyo po, kung makita po natin na altered or edited po ang video, it will have a different hash value.
Yes, Your Honor. Mag-generate po ng different hash value if na-edit po yung video.
Okay, go ahead po.
Then after po nun, isinave po namin siya sa storage device and submitted as evidence, Your Honor.
So you confirm po that you submitted a copy of the video that you authenticated to the Committee on Justice, and what we played earlier is the authenticated video.
Yes, Your Honor. It's part of the authenticated video.
Okay, tapos dahil dito po sa inyong proseso ng pag-authenticate, sigurado po tayo na hindi edited, altered, or AI yung video po na hawak po ninyo at pinasa niyo po sa amin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
We now recognize again the Honorable Percy Sendanya.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. For recap lang po, mabilis. So kanina po, pinlay natin yung video, tapos tinanong po natin sa NBI kung yung batay ba sa video na yon ay citing to sedition yung ginawa ni VP Sara, at ang sagot po nila is on the affirmative. Nakasite din po kasi yung usapin ng grave threats doon po sa kanilang affidavit. So tanong lang po sa NBI, batay po sa inyong affidavit investigation, yun po bang ginawa ni VP Sara, grave threats po ba yon?
Base po sa ebidensya na nakalap ng NBI at na-submit po sa Department of Justice for the purpose of preliminary investigation, ang naging findings po ng NBI, the acts of the Vice President constitutes grave threats.
So inulit ko lang po, so sinasabi po ng NBI, yung ginawa na ni VP Sara sa napanood nating video ay inciting to sedition at grave threats. May nabanggit din po kayo sa page 28, reasonable certainty of conviction for VP Sara for inciting to sedition and grave threats. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng reasonable certainty of conviction para po sa ating mga tagapanood?
Noong March 31, 2023, ang Department of Justice po ay nag-issue ng Department Circular number 20 na kung saan po ang standard or quantum of proof ng in carrying out the roles of the investigators and as well as the prosecutors, ini-ensure po dapat ng mga investigators as well as the prosecutors that there must be a prima facie case. I am citing Section 2 of Department Circular 20, and that there must be a reasonable certainty of conviction based on available documents, witnesses, real evidence, and the like.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a very brief manifestation before I yield the time to the next member of the committee. Mahalagang paalala po, huwag nating ugaliing pagbantaan ang buhay ng kahit sino man. Krimen po yun. And we were expecting that the Vice President knows this. The threat alone is a separate crime from homicide or murder. Sabi nga ng NBI, there is reasonable certainty of conviction against VP Sara on 1 count of inciting to sedition and 3 counts of grave threats. Kung hindi tama ang ugaling ito para sa second highest official of the land, mas lalong hindi po ito karapat-dapat para sa isang tao na nag-aambisyon na maging highest official of the land. Inuulit po natin, grave threat, inciting to sedition, sinasabi ng NBI, ginawa po yan ni VP Sara. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Sendanya.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Joel Chua.
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the documents and videos submitted by the NBI last April 14, 2026, and today, April 29, 2026, and be made part of the records of this proceeding.
There is a motion to adopt all the documents, digital and documentary, submitted by the NBI to this committee during the hearing of April 14, 2026, including those which are being submitted today, April 29, 2026, to form part of the official records of the proceeding of this committee. Do I hear a second?
Second.
The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee secretary is directed to submit the additional documents being submitted by the NBI.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
There is a list, Honorable Abante, unless that is a point of order.
Kung wala na pong question sa NBI, I'd like to make a manifestation, Madam Chair, on destabilization.
We have a long list for clarificatory questions for NBI. So I will call you later, Honorable Abante. Now we recognize the Honorable Chel Jokno.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, may I just seek clarification from the affiance of the affidavit of investigation. There are 4 of you from the NBI who signed this affidavit. S.A. Jeremy C. Lotok, SRA Ria Vanessa Diaz Asuncion, SRA Van Homer M. Angluben, and Agent John Mark Kalilong. I would just like to know who among you are the most senior in rank of the 4 affiants.
I am the most senior, sir.
You are,
among
sir?
the 4, sir. I am the most senior, sir, among the 4.
Kindly
affiants, sir.
identify yourself. Di ko makita yung nameplate ninyo. S.A. Jeremy Lotok. Yes, I'd just like to seek your confirmation. In paragraph 4 of your affidavit of investigation, you said, and I quote, in the same press conference, VP Duterte likewise responded to an online commenter expressing concern on her security by stating, quote, yes, wag kang mag-alala ma'am sa security ko kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta at si Martin Romualdez. No joke, no joke. Nagbili na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag kang tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So you confirm that this is in your affidavit of investigation?
Yes, sir, I do confirm that it's part of our affidavit of investigation.
And I would just like to know your understanding. Dun sa bandang, yung una kong nabanggit na quotation, yes, huwag kang mag-alala ma'am sa security ko kasi may nakausap na ako na tao. In relation to the last part of the last sentence where the VP Sara said, and then he said yes. May I know what's your understanding? Is that one and the same person?
Well, actually, ongoing yung investigation namin, sir. Although we cannot divulge it right now para hindi ho ma-preempt yung aming ginagawang investigasyon. But definitely, we believe na meron ho siyang kinausap at meron hong assassin na naka-assign base doon sa conversation.
Just to confirm that I heard right, na meron siyang, you confirm. Could you kindly repeat your statement?
Yes, sir. Based ho sa aming affidavit, VP Sara is referring to one of the same person, sir.
At kasama po sa inyong investigasyon yung pagtukoy doon sa kung sino man yung taong yon.
Which is ongoing po, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No more questions.
Ngayon, kayo bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi nyo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa ibaba at atin niyang babasahin isa-isa.